Just needed a little kick, see? That's all. That's all it needed, chat. Just look at that. The cluster's responding now. It's kicking the nodes it doesn't need. See, this is the problem with the reconciliation loop, all right? This is the stuff that, like, if you don't understand Kubernetes, how state is maintained, how it works, you're just going to sit here, your pants. Literally, that's it. Although I didn't get to bleep myself on the first part. I apologize for that. But, like, if you don't understand that, like, we're locked. Why are we locked? Well, we're locked because of this reason, and we need to let the cluster naturally unlock itself, right? We want state to naturally reconcile, right? I don't want to have to go in and be like, delete a bunch of stuff. Probably the best decision in the deletions that I made was just deleting the crons, right? More than likely just because they weren't as vital, right? But yeah, like everything else, like should have been able to pretty easily reconcile once the cluster was able to, again, regain state. And so you can see, yeah, look, now we're all good. Everything's back to normal now, except for, I guess, this last replica and this notification thing, which if we wanted to, we could probably just kick that and get a new one. And then this one should, yeah, there you go. Immediately starts running. All right, there we go, chat. Hell yeah. Well, the cluster's back to normal now. Thank goodness. That's nice. We're going to have to add a couple things to the board. So analysis, how would you make sure the crons jobs don't get under-scheduled? So this drunk Dane, here's the real analysis here, and here's the problem with EKS. EKS is bare bones, dude. It's unfortunate, but it's true. It's so bare bones. And you really have to, like, add everything that you want to it for it to work the way that you want it to. And so, like, that's why, like, they give you these limitations on, like, specific sizes of, what's it called? Specific sizes of, like, how many pods you can put on an instance, right? Or other limitations and stuff like that. One of the things that's a bit of a bummer for sure that, like, even Azure does out of the box is it handles auto scaling. Like, it handles actual pod auto scaling the way that it should. And basically that makes it, the Kubernetes part pretty nice. You don't get that with EKS, unfortunately. You don't get that with EKS. So it's like not out of the box. No, you have to enable it. Hang on one second. But yeah, no, you have to enable it. So you actually have to enable. So it has auto scaling groups. This is where it gets confusing, right? It has auto scaling groups, right? But those auto scaling groups are not necessarily indirectly or directly connected to the service plane to scaling it itself, right? It doesn't have a turnkey solution for it. Exactly. And so when you ask me, like, what was the problem? Analysis mode, right? We're in, what is it called? Retro, right? We're having a retroactive right now, right? Yo, inexpensive, dude. Thank you for the 7 months, man. Thank you. Hello. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you are well. What am I doing right now, Socrates? So right now, I'm basically, honestly, we're going through just a look at what just happened. We went live like an hour and a half ago or something like that. And the TLDR is that the whole cluster that runs all of Quark and everything got deadlocked. The reason why I got deadlocked was because I provisioned a static Kubernetes cluster. What does that mean? Basically just means that it doesn't ever try provisioning more nodes. We also do what is called run crons. We run a lot of crons. If you don't have enough space to run all of those crons and maybe even a bit more, right, and you don't finish that task before the next task is started, then it can essentially schedule more tasks. It's like, all right, well, I'm just going to wait for that next one, and then when that next one comes through, we'll get that one, and then when that one comes through, we'll get that one, and then when that one, and that's when, like, your state really starts getting locked up, because it's running, like, Kubernetes is running. Kubernetes is saying, like, hey, man, every 5 minutes, you wanted a new container. That's what I'm doing. Right? But then Kubernetes is also going, hey, man, I ain't got enough space for this container. I don't know what you were expecting. And that's the deadlock. That's where you lock in. You obviously don't want to overscale, so you set limits for that overscaling and stuff like that. But the reality of it is the best way of fixing this would have simply been to have scaling. Yeah, to say, all right, I'm going to maximize